Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. Now, in a move that sent shockwaves through the music world, Kendrick Lamar has been announced as the halftime performer for the Super Bowl 2025. Now, the news has sparked a heated debate with opinions sharply divided on whether the critically acclaimed rapper is the right fit for the biggest stage in sports. Now, for some, Kendrick's involvement is a victory for hip-hop and a testament to his groundbreaking artistry. They argue that his powerful lyrics and socially conscious message will bring a much-needed dose of reality to the Super Bowl's traditionally light-hearted proceedings. Now, others, however, are outraged, feeling that Kendrick's raw and unapologetic style is too edgy for the family-friendly event. Now, they question whether his performance will be toned down and whether his involvement is a sellout or a bold move. Now, as we take a look into the reactions of fans, critics, and celebrities alike, one thing is clear: Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance is going to be a moment to remember. Will he bring the heat or will he hold back? Will his message resonate or will it fall flat? So join me as we explore the diverse perspectives on this polarizing performance. Take a look at the videos. I will be right back.
I've seen quite a bit of this sentiment as we're all digesting the news that Kendrick Lamar is performing at the Super Bowl. And I'm going to explain to you why it absolutely should not be Lil Wayne, as a fellow Wayne myself. One of the difficult things about booking a hip hop act for this type of event, because it's not a concert, it is a television event. Everyone in the room is just a part of the TV moment. And a lot of hip hop artists aren't good live. Like, I don't just mean like, I went to go see them and they were dope. I mean, good enough to be put on TV. And unfortunately, Lil Wayne is not good live. He's one of the greatest rappers of all time. He's top 5 for sure, and he's not 4 or 5, right? But he's not very good live. And a lot of hip hop artists aren't. One of the reasons why Usher worked so well is because Usher built an entire story for television. Beyonce built something for television. The Weeknd was built for television. A lot of hip hop artists get up and rap. And that's okay when you go to their concerts, but it's not okay for this moment. Even if we look at the Super Bowl with Dr. Dre and you look at the live performances that were given, probably outside of 50 Cent, all of them were done perfectly for television. And so Kendrick Lamar being one of the best live performers we have, and that pop out, the Ken and Friends, I think was a great little test case, a little practice run for this event. They're going to put it together beautifully, especially because PG Lang is going to have creative control of constructing the concert, the television event itself. So I love Lil Wayne as an artist, and he would not be a good halftime for the Super Bowl, despite his catalog. To be in this spot, kind of like Usher, you need to have the right catalog, and you also have to be able to translate that into something that is television watchable and worthy.
Saying you're as big as the Super Bowl and your main op has now headlined going on 2 times in the Super Bowl, after all that's happened, he's about to headline the Super Bowl, and your mentors, your idol, the man that put you on, he's about to do it in his backyard, is diabolical work. Kendrick Lamar announces that next year, February, Super Bowl 59, 2025, he will be performing in the Super Bowl halftime show. Not like us being the biggest song, like damn near ever in terms of like diss tracks. After all that, Kendrick Lamar has decided that he's going to headline the Super Bowl. Now, what I find funny is that I'm not a Kendrick fan because of the beef. I've been a Kendrick fan way before the beef. Okay, I've been a Kendrick fan since I was allowed to be on streaming services. I've been a Kendrick fan. And what I find funny to this is that the narratives are always going to speak, well, you got to thank Drake for this. I'm like, well, you guys, you understand that Kendrick has headlined the Super Bowl before with his colleagues, but he's headlined the Super Bowl before. He's performed at a Super Bowl. You give me one Super Bowl that Drake performed in? Didn't think so. And also, it's going to be very funny to see what he does. Because if we know anything from the pop out, the man can put a performance. He could definitely do a performance. I swear, if we get the entire world to scream A minor from their homes, it's going to be absolutely diabolical. I do hope, though, that he does drop an album so we get some new material going into the Super Bowl. But we got from here in February to just be prepared. Also, it's kind of funny to see he had this little petty thing to say. He was like, you know, there's only one chance to win a championship, no round 2s. Because Drake was on his Finsta talking about well, we will win game 2, you know, we'll run it back eventually. And he's like, no, it's over. Stay tuned as it develops, because I cannot personally wait. Like, I think it's in New Orleans. It's not too far from me. So I definitely got to go. I definitely got to go and see what it's looking like. I'm going to try everything in my power to get a Super Bowl ticket to go to be able to go to the Super Bowl. Because, yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot of people upset that Kendrick will be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show this coming February in New Orleans over Wayne, because they feel like Wayne should have been the one performing. He is a New Orleans legend, and I think it would have been great for the city if Wayne would have performed. I thought that's what they were gonna do, but y'all know how the politics go. Like, when it comes to selecting talent for the Super Bowl halftime show, it has nothing to do with if that person is from that city. That's just not how it goes. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that Kendrick is not big enough to perform at the Super Bowl. Do y'all, like, when y'all say stuff like this, y'all basically expose that y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Kendrick has 17 Grammys. He's the only artist in the world to have a Pulitzer. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick had the highest grossing hip hop tour for the Mr. Morale tour. And that was what, 2023? So not until For All the Dogs was that record broken. So for y'all to say that Kendrick isn't big enough to perform at the Super Bowl, you're just basically letting everyone know that you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to Kendrick. And honestly, I think Kendrick will bring Wayne out. I don't see Kendrick being that type of person. Like, he knows the fans want to see Wayne. He knows that. I could totally see Kendrick bringing out Wayne and the Hot Boys to perform. I wouldn't rule that out completely. Like, I wouldn't just get so caught up in that, because I can totally see Kendrick doing that for sure.
Wait. After all that noise, come to find out, Jay-Z didn't select Kendrick Lamar. New Orleans did? Like, after all that noise y'all was talking about, nah, this, and the Master P being like, as a person who's involved in the New Orleans entertainment scene, it's wrong that you, and then for Nicki to be like, just cause you hate Nicki, just cause you hate Drake, just cause you hate Birdman, you want our cheesecake. Like, after all of that, after every bit of that, come to find out, it wasn't even Rock Nation. It was the NFL and New Orleans. And at the end of the day, the NFL and New Orleans made the right decision. Kendrick Lamar is as hot as fish grease, and I made a whole other video talking about why Lil Wayne would be a horrible headliner for the Super Bowl. I saw someone who's in charge of Grammy performances who talked about how Lil Wayne didn't show up to any of the Grammy rehearsals for the performance and walked on stage last minute and ran off into oblivion. Y'all should go on YouTube and see what all went into Usher creating the halftime show he created, how much work and effort went into it. If you watch the Dr. Dre halftime show and all the sets and how they moved from one thing to another, how it lined up with TV and how the mics had to be right, like, there's so much that has to go into this. And so they made what I think is a good decision for the television event. And while you're over here being like,
my God Almighty, I call heaven and earth to be a record today. And Rock Nation, you will crumble. I am an apostle of God.
all of it was just noise.
I'm convinced Kendrick Lamar is Beetlejuice. Drake done said his name 3 times and did not go away. I was prepared for HBU band season to hear Not Like Us. Got it. But damn, I was not prepared for him to perform at the Super Bowl. That was not on my bingo card. This is Beetlejuice. You can't tell me anything different now. Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick Lamar. He won. And just like Beetlejuice, K-Dot about to do something wicked. I don't even got to see the new movie. We watching it in real life. That boy is terrorizing. I'm here for it too. I love it. I love everything about this. Keep it coming. No round 2s is crazy as hell. But I will be mad as hell if I was Drake. You mean to tell me I can't get my face back? And while you're at being a menace, go ahead and start making these no round 2 t-shirts. Gotta have them.
The anger of Lil Wayne not doing the Super Bowl is very disingenuous because nobody has complained about him not performing in New Orleans before they picked Kendrick Lamar. This is a fact. You can Google it. The Super Bowl has been in New Orleans 10 times. All right. This is actually going to be the 11th time. It's hosted the Super Bowl more than any other city in America. And since Lil Wayne has been one of the most popular rappers ever, it's been in New Orleans 3 times. And he wasn't picked for
any of those opportunities. He wasn't picked when Beyonce performed there last time, and there was never any uproar over that. I have never heard anyone complain about Lil Wayne not being at the halftime show in the Super Bowl when it's been in New Orleans. Fun fact, Lil Wayne doesn't even root for the New Orleans football team. He's a Green Bay Packers fan. So I think he is also not as bothered by these fans who are making this statement. This is once again a crafted narrative to try and prop Drake up somehow. Like, that's all this leads back to, is trying to prop Drake up. And since y'all can't just be like, yeah, it's an L for Drake that Kendrick is performing at the Super Bowl, because Drake was the one talking about being bigger than the Super Bowl. And it's been known throughout the industry that Drake has wanted to perform at the Super Bowl. This is a very big L for him to take, that his biggest rival in the rap game is getting a chance to perform on a stage that he has been trying to perform on his entire career. That is a real definition of an L. But of course, instead of acknowledging reality, y'all, first of all, hop in with this video of Drake being an ambassador to the World Cup and how the World Cup is 20, 30 times bigger than the Super Bowl. And now, secondly, you're going to ride to the death on this idea that Lil Wayne should have been chosen as a performer. That is ridiculous. I grew up on Lil Wayne, all right? I believe he is a top 5 rapper of all time, okay? I know he has the catalog and the resume to be at the Super Bowl and perform. But I'll be perfectly honest, I've seen Lil Wayne live multiple times. He is not the type of performer that needs to be at the Super Bowl. That's a fact. For as big as his hits are, for as legendary of a rapper as he is not the performer that Kendrick Lamar is. And he does not have the production value that Kendrick Lamar does whenever he performs live. And unfortunately, he is not the hottest ticket in the hip hop game right now. If he were picked to perform at the Super Bowl, that'd be a big deal. But Kendrick Lamar elevates the interest in the event. These are businessmen running these decisions. They care about the numbers. Lil Wayne being chosen would not spark the same interest as Kendrick Lamar being chosen. And from a pure money standpoint, I can see why they would pick the more relevant, more recent, more current, hot rapper to perform at the Super Bowl. Now, some of y'all are up in arms and y'all don't even know that there are talks of like a Hot Boy reunion. There are already talks of Lil Wayne gracing that stage. All right. Kendrick Lamar is a huge Lil Wayne fan. All right. So they've already been in the works of trying to get him involved with this performance. But the angry Drake OVO stans will never acknowledge that fact. OK, just simply put, something good happened for Kendrick Lamar and we're going to hate on it. That's all that is. You even have DJ academics trying to say that Jay-Z is not the legend that Jay-Z is. Like, do you see how ridiculous these people get when they don't get their way? Like, for the most part, you got to laugh. But at some point, I wonder if there's a real mental illness with some of these people. All right. Like, you cannot love an artist so much that no matter what happens with anybody else, you throw a temper tantrum because that artist did not get the thing that you wanted him to get. It's sad. And you really don't see any other fan base act like this about their favorite artists. Like, none.
Now, the rapper who's had a big year thanks to a beef with Drake that led to the smash song Not Like Us will perform in New Orleans in February. Kendrick Lamar will perform at the Super Bowl halftime show next February in New Orleans. The National Football League, Rock Nation, and Apple Music announced on Sunday. It is the second time that the rapper will take part in the event, but will be his first at the headline act. Now, the booking comes amid a busy year for the rapper. Earlier this spring, Lamar and Drake traded bars in a high-profile beef, which resulted in Lamar's hit song, Not Like Us. Rock music is still the most impactful genre to date. Lamar said in a statement, "And I will be there to remind the world why they got the right one." The league announced Lamar as the performer after the rapper posted a short video on social media set on a football field with a giant American flag as a backdrop during the opening Sunday of each season, when the majority of its teams will play their games. Now, Lamar last performed on the Super Bowl stage in 2022 as part of the event's first showcase for hip-hop music, led by the West Coast superstars Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, as well as Eminem, 50 Cent, and Mary J. Now, Kendrick Lamar is truly a once-in-a-generation artist and performer. Jay-Z, the founder of Roc Nation, said in a statement, his deep love for hip-hop and culture informs his artistic vision. He has an unparalleled ability to define and influence culture globally. Kendrick's work transcends music, and his impact will be felt for years to come. Now, Lamar is a 17-time Grammy-winning artist, raised to fame after the release of his second album, Good Kid, Mad City, in 2012. Widely recognized as a talented lyricist, he won a prize in 2018 for his album, Damn, and was nominated for an Oscar in 2019 for All the Stars, his song with SZA from the Black Panther soundtrack. Now, he made headlines this year thanks to his highly publicized feud with Drake, which began with his feature on Future and Metro Boomin's song Like That in March. Now, Drake soon responded, leading a back and forth of songs laced with personal attacks and sharp accusations. Not Like Us, which was released in May, became his fourth #1 single and has remained on the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 17 weeks. Now, Lamar took a victory lap at a Juneteenth concert at the Kia Forum, where he played Not Like Us multiple times. Now, the event, broadcast on Amazon Prime Video, was viewed as a uniting moment for Los Angeles, featuring local heroes including Dr. Dre. Now, Lamar's Super Bowl appearance will be the 60th halftime produced in collaboration with Roc Nation. In 2019, Jay-Z's company signed a deal with the NFL that made him a co-producer of the Super Bowl halftime show and a promoter of the league's social justice initiatives. The agreement came amid tensions over the league's handling of protests by the quarterback Colin, who had begun kneeling during the national anthem during the 2016 season to protest police violence against Black and people of color. Now, in 2020, Jay-Z told the New York Times that he had been approached to play halftime with contingencies, that Rihanna and Kanye West should perform Run This Town with him, and turned the offer down. Now, the problem with the NFL is you all think hip-hop is still a fad when hip-hop has been the dominant music from around the world for 20 years. Jay-Z said he told Robert K. Kraft, the New England Patriots owner and chairman of the NFL's media committee, who had reached out to him. Now, the first halftime show of the Roc Nation era was co-headlined by Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. In 2021, The Weeknd took the stage solo, following the historic and belated full arrival of hip-hop on the Super Bowl stage. Rihanna performed in 2023, and last year, Usher anchored the show with a slate of guests including Alicia Keys, Lil Jon, and Ludacris. Now, let me just share a few comments from others as well who had something to say about this. Now, this one says it's almost as if the Super Bowl is operated like a business and Kendrick Lamar will get the most eyes on the halftime show. This controversy is so ridiculous. People saying Lil Wayne should have got it should look up the live performances lately. He's a legend and I love him, but I would take a 15-minute show from Kendrick over Lil Wayne. 10 out of times in 2025. Middle America hates Lil Wayne, and the NFL won't risk the controversy. Not even trying to hate on the likes of Katy Perry and Taylor Swift. It's just baffling how the NFL promotes this machismo image and goes with bubblegum pop halftime shows with cartoon sharks and whatnot for their biggest event. Now, there are so many comments on this, but what do my viewers have to say? Share your thoughts as well in the comment section and let's have a conversation there. Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.